Daniel Barnes here, D Barnes, Young Barnes, Barnesy, all of us are here once again. Week 3 recap. We've just got one sermon and then a pro-apt, and then there was what's called our Essentials Intensive, which was on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we're going to be going over some of that material as well. So the sermon last Sunday was about habits. It was talking about two specific ideas, which were that Jesus grew in the habit of wisdom and in the habit of health. So with wisdom, that was from learning, listening, and living. He also asked over 300, I think it was 367 questions. I'm not 100% sure. I know it was over 300 questions, and he only answered 5. So those of you who know me, I ask a lot of questions, so I might be doing something as well. The other one was he grows in the habit of health. In order for Jesus to be able to walk like so many miles, he had to walk at least 10 miles there and back. So 20-mile round trips plus all the times he was walking with disciples. Him being healthy physically was imperative to his ministry. And just as it is for us, if we are unhealthy, it makes us unable to maximize our ministry potential because we are unhealthy and being in the way of being able to do all that God has called us to do. The pro-app that we did on Tuesday morning, it was the main thing that I got out of that was just to rejoice always, to pray continually, and to give thanks in all circumstances. And it says at the end of that verse that this is God's will. So I'm going to do it. It's that simple. I had drum lessons this week, which were really great with Brendan Tan from Hillsong Young and Free, and those are going super well. Then on to the Essentials retreat. So session 1 was really simple. It was talking about truth. What am I basing my life on? What are you basing your life on? And make sure that it's based on truth. That's kind of an ongoing question for me to continue to dwell on even after this is, what am I basing my life on? Session 2, John Harris talked about prayer and how when we pray, we need to pray with persistence and with passion. And there were all these different names of God. He's love, he's just, all these different things. But the one that really struck me the most, or resonated with me the most, was Elohim, which is strength, that God is strength, that he is solid, he's a foundation. That was the one that made the biggest impact for me. The third session was making a kingdom impact. And there were kind of 3 main points, which is that we are God's, we are his workmanship, and we are created to do good works. So the first one, we have faith that we are God's, and we have freedom knowing that we are his, and then we are able to serve in response because he created us to do good things. The fourth session is called God Isn't Interested in Good. And this was Carl. This is probably my favorite session. He said the 2 points were, don't allow circumstances to dictate your actions. And the second one was, sin reflects the condition of your heart. And he had this quote, which I was just like, wrote it down, and I've written it down twice. It says, sin is what you do when your heart isn't satisfied with the Lord. Sin is what we do when our hearts are not satisfied with God. And the third point was, partial obedience is still disobedience. So that was session 4. That was Thursday night. And then Friday, we had session 5. Or it might have still been Thursday, I can't remember, which was about grace. So session 5 was the 2 bottom lines are begin in grace and continue in grace. And there was this analogy that Shane gave, which I loved, which was, grace is like if you have a house and it's paid off, but you're working 12 hours a day, not being able to be around your wife or kids, to make money to be able to pay for this house which is already paid off. That's like me trying to do enough good works and play drums enough places and do whatever to earn God's love when it's already paid for. It's already done. And then the 6th session was church. In the same way that you can't separate a husband and a wife, that they are together and they edify each other, you can't separate Jesus from the church. He wants us to be together. And church is actually God's first It's God's plan A to save the world, and there is no plan B. So that's pretty much the whole recap. Something else, me and Noah are working on memorizing all of James, and I haven't memorized the first verse particularly, but this is going to be something I'll at the end of the video just kind of show my progress. So starting with James chapter 1 verse 2, it's therefore, gosh, I have this. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because it is the testing of our faith which produces perseverance. And perseverance, when it is complete, and perseverance, when it is mature and complete, oh man, I know this, but I'm blanking on it. So I'm working on it. We just started, so I've got at least that first verse. I had almost 6 of them this morning, but I guess I'm camera shy, and we'll get better next week. So thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate it, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.